Rita, about the text you sent me. Are you going on a trip with my mom?
Yeah, your mother invited me to go on a trip with her. Jake, I'm sorry to leave you behind. I feel sorry to go on vacation while you're on your business trip.
No, don't worry. I bet you're tired from looking after my sick dad for us. You deserve some rest, Rita.
But I still feel sorry. I heard you're going to pay for all the expenses for the trip. Not only mine, but also your family's. And about your father, you're going to pay for his nursing home fees as well while I'm away.
Don't worry, Rita. Mom insisted that she'll pay for any additional fees. So there's not much money that I'll be paying.
Oh, I see. Thanks for sorting things out.
No, there's nothing to thank me about. I was also worried about my dad anyways. It's my choice to pay for your trips, there's nothing to be worried about.
But the price is pretty expensive. Should I ask your mother to pay for some of our fees? Maybe they could pay for half of the nursing home fees.
It's okay. I have my reasons for paying for everything, Rita.
What do you mean?
You see, my mom and my sister, they can be pretty harsh on you sometimes. It's been a while since you started living with my family, but you still look uncomfortable around them.
Well, yeah. I should try harder to have a good relationship with them.
It's me who has to try harder. Ideally, I should help you get along with my family as your husband. I'm sorry if my family is making you uncomfortable. If only I had a less busy work schedule.
Don't worry, Jake.
But still...
I'm okay. By the way, what's your reasons for paying for our trip?
Oh yeah, about that. If I pay, I think Mom won't be too harsh on you during the trip. I'm being strategic about this. I really hope you can enjoy your trip.
Thanks, Jake. That's really sweet of you. I also want to get along with your mother and sister better. I think the trip might be the perfect opportunity.
I hope so too. I won't be able to go with you because I have some work to do, but I really hope that you'll have a great time.
Thanks. I'll get you some souvenirs, so look forward to it, alright? I'll send it to you after our trip's over.
I'll look forward to it. Have fun, Rita. You might feel a bit pressured being alone with my mom and my sister. But the purpose of this trip is for you to have fun.
I'm pretty excited for this weekend, to be honest. I'll send you some photos, too. Hello, Mom. It's been a while since you left shopping with Selena. When are you coming home?
Rita, what are you talking about? We're not going home.
But we're leaving for a trip tomorrow. I thought we would be off after taking Dad to the nursing home. Do you remember?
Oh, about that. There's nothing to worry about. My daughter and I already arrived at our hotel.
Huh? Oh, what do you mean?
I told you that we're leaving tomorrow. But we actually plan to leave today.
Huh? I'm sorry, I didn't know that. I'll be on my way as soon as possible.
There's no need. You're staying at home, Rita. Who's gonna take care of my husband if all of us are on a trip?
But I thought we were taking him to a nursing home temporarily.
That's a lie, of course. I never contacted the nursing home. They won't come to pick him up tomorrow.
Why did you do this to me? I thought you invited me to join you on the trip.
I changed my mind. If you come with us, I won't be able to have fun. I'll be stressed out. I want to enjoy this trip with my real daughter.
Was this your plan all along?
I told you I changed my mind. Just take care of my husband while we're away, okay? Oh, and we'll be sure to get some souvenirs for Jake, so there's nothing to worry about.
I'll take care of your husband while you're on your trip?
What a nice daughter-in-law. You're a wise lady to listen what your mother-in-law says. You used to be a stranger to us. You should be thankful that we welcome you into our family.
Thank you. And I have something to tell you. It's hard to tell you this, but could you please pay me back my money? I'm not in a hurry, so I would appreciate it if you can pay me when you come back from your trip.
Money? What money?
The money I paid for the trip and the nursing home fees. I'm not going on the trip anymore, And I don't think you need the nursing home fees if I'm staying behind to look after him.
I think I paid you the other day. Oh, that money. Thanks to you, we were able to have a nice dinner. Thanks, Rita.
No, you have to pay me back. The money wasn't for you.
I'll never pay you back.
Even if you don't want to, you have to pay me back. I paid you quite a lot of money.
Rita, are you complaining to me?
I'm not complaining. I paid you beforehand because I thought I was also going on the trip. I'm not going to be joining you two on the trip, so I think you should pay me back.
How can you demand that, Rita? We agreed to live together for you. We welcomed a stranger to join our family when we were also busy taking care of my ill husband. Think of the money as a payment of appreciation.
I don't think I was ever welcome in this family. I'm also in charge of doing everything around the house. I'm the only one doing housework and taking care of your husband.
You're the daughter-in-law, Rita. You are not my real daughter. You should be feeling thankful.
Okay, I get it.
Let me tell you one last thing. Don't you ever tell Jake about this. He's on a business trip, right? We're the only ones at home. We can punish you as much as you want. There's no one to help you.
Yes, I understand.
Just look after my husband at home, okay? Make yourself useful as a daughter-in-law. If you want to maintain a good relationship with us, just be a good girl, Rita.
Rita, have you arrived at your hotel? How's the spa? Is Mom having fun? And are you having fun?
I haven't been to the spa yet, but I think your mother is having fun.
Oh, you haven't been to the spa yet? How's everything going? Are they being harsh on you again?
Hey, Jake. Will you always be on my side, no matter what?
What's wrong? Is everything okay? I'm your husband, Rita. I'm always on your side. Are they being harsh on you? Be honest with me.
Not exactly. They left me at home because I'm the daughter-in-law. They also used up all the money I paid to them for the trip.
Huh? They left you behind? And did you just tell me that they used up all your money?
They never planned to take me with them. She told me that I should stay at home and take care of your father.
Huh, that doesn't make sense. Did Mom tell you this?
Yeah, I have the conversation saved in my messages. I asked her to pay me back the money. But she told me to consider as payment of appreciation because they welcomed me who used to be a stranger.
Did she tell you that you're a stranger? Is this because we live with them?
Yeah. She also made sure that I won't tell you about this.
I'm really sorry, Rita. I can't believe they did this to you. How can they even ask you to make it a secret from me?
Well, they've always been pretty harsh on me. I wanted to discuss something regarding this incident with you.
Yeah, they've definitely been harsh on you since we got married. And what do you want to discuss with me?
I want to move out. I know it's going to be hard for you, but after this incident, I don't think I can bear it any longer. I'm sorry, I'm being selfish.
I'm the one who should apologize. I'm really sorry that you had to endure all this. Being busy with work was no excuse. I should have taken better care of you because you're my beloved wife.
No, Jake. You've been trying your best too.
Thanks, Rita. Let's move out. It's your choice.
Thanks. But what should we do about your father? He's been really ill recently. I don't think he's fully conscious. To be honest, I'm worried to ask your mother and your sister to take care of your father.
We'll figure something out, don't worry. I'll get home as soon as possible. So, can I ask you to look after him till I get home?
Yep, no problem. Thanks.
I bet you're really tired, Rita. Thanks for taking care of him.
Rita, where are you? My husband is nowhere to be found as well. Why don't you greet us now that we're back from our trip?
Welcome home, Mom. I'm sorry I'm unable to greet you in person. I'm currently out of the house.
Where's my husband? Don't tell me. You took him out of the house in that condition.
No, don't worry. He's currently at a nursing home. I think it's a better environment for him.
Nursing home? Did you force him to join a nursing home because you no longer wanted to take care of him? How can you decide this on your own, daughter-in-law?
It's not my decision. Jake agreed too.
Jake? Why is he here? I thought he was on his business trip.
We decided to move out of your house, but we can't just leave Dad at home. He temporarily joined a nursing home as a trial.
Wait a minute, you moved out? Don't tell me you told Jake everything.
Yes, I told him everything. Can't just move out without telling him the reason.
Don't be ridiculous. Didn't I tell you, Rita? I told you that I will never forgive you if you told Jake about our conversation. Don't you remember?
Yes, I remember you threatening me.
I never threatened you. I was just talking to you as your mother-in-law. I thought you knew the consequences of telling Jake, but you still chose to tell him. You'll have to face the consequences.
I don't care.
Be careful with your language. You're talking to your mother-in-law. Be more respectful.
I'm being respectful enough. I'm gonna be honest with you, but threats only work when you're in disadvantage. And in this case, I wasn't in a disadvantage.
What do you mean?
I knew Jake would be on my side. He is always on my side no matter what. You're the one who's in a disadvantage. Can you stop us from moving out? Do you have the power to do that?
You naughty little kid. Can you respect your mother-in-law?
I have always been respectful, Mom. I tried to be the ideal wife you all wanted me to be.
Then be the ideal daughter-in-law. Just obey my orders.
After what happened, I made my decision. I can't bear to live with you any longer. Jake feels the same.
Stop being selfish. What are you going to do about my husband?
Jake was also worried about his father. We decided to live with you in the first place because we were worried about him.
Jake loves his father. I don't think he can ever move out. Are you lying to me about you two moving out?
Didn't I tell you this already? Your husband is currently at a nursing home.
So what?
We're just trying things out, so we don't know how it'll turn out. But if he likes his new home, he'll move in there.
Are you trying to kick him out of our house? I will never allow you to make this decision by yourself.
I didn't make this decision by myself. Your husband also supported us about moving out. He said he'll move into a nursing home and pay for the fees using his own savings.
My husband said that? He stays in bed most of the time. He never seems fully conscious even when he's awake. How is he capable to talk like this?
You've never really taken care of him. I was always taking care of him alone. So I guess you don't know what he's capable of doing. He can be fully conscious sometimes. He's perfectly capable to communicate with us when he's conscious.
Even if that was true, why would he want to move into a nursing home? We're living with him. We can take care of him after you move out. Why would he want to use all of his savings for this?
I guess he doesn't trust his wife nor daughter. He told me about his honest feelings. He was scared to make you and your daughter take care of him.
How can he say that? I'm his wife.
That doesn't matter. If he cannot trust you, you're no different than a stranger. He's worried to make a stranger, who he can't trust, look after him.
I can't believe it. How much does it cost for him to join a nursing home? My daughter doesn't have a job.
I'm not exactly sure yet, but I think it'll be pretty expensive. You're asking the professionals to take care of him.
I can't pay for that. We've been living on my husband's money. I need his money to make a living.
Then how about you find a job? I bet you got plenty of rest, making me do everything around the house after I married Jake. I'm not sure if you have the skill to get a job, but both of you definitely have enough energy to work. Good luck in earning your own money for the very first time. After Jake and I found a new place to live, we finally moved out of his parents' house. While we were looking for a new house, we were also trying our best to find a nice nursing home for his father. My parents offered, not only us, but also his father to stay at their place for the time being, so I never had to interact with his mother nor his sister after a conversation using messages. Luckily, we found a nice nursing home around the same time we found our new house. So we're now living a relaxed life in different environments. Jake's mother and sister no longer was able to depend on their father's money. And I heard they're having a hard time working their part-time jobs. I demanded them to pay back the money I gave them for the trip, so I guess they'll have to work even harder. They've been on a very long vacation, so I hope they try their best to earn a living by themselves from now on.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.
Mary, I was just wondering if you weren't back yet from going to pick up Laurel. I heard on the TV today that it's supposed to rain soon, and I really need you to bring in all the laundry hanging outside. Do you have any idea when you're going to be getting back home?
Oh, Carrie, it's lovely to hear from you. I'm sorry, but I had to stop at the bank and I completely forgot to bring the laundry before I left. I'll bring it in as soon as I get home though, alright?
I know you will. But that's why I'm asking what time you're going to be home by. And just where are you right now?
I'm actually just picking up Laurel from her preschool right now. Then we have to stop by the grocery store to pick up something for dinner. So, if I had to guess, it would probably be about another hour and a half or so.
You're not going to be here until 3:30? But it's practically going to be dark by then. You need to hurry up and get home as fast as you can, Mary. The laundry is not going to take care of itself.
Right, yeah, sorry about that, Carrie.
By the way, you're done with your period for the month, aren't you?
Yes. It finished just the other day, if you really must know.
Good, then you don't have any excuse to be lazing around the house anymore and complaining so much. Anyways, I guess that means that I can count on you giving me a second grandchild in the next year, yes?
Carrie, we've talked about this before, remember? I'm going to be the one that will carry my second child, so please, just let me worry about the timing of when to get pregnant, okay?
But Laurel is already 4 years old. You really do need to get on having a second child as soon as possible. Unless this is your way of trying to keep kicking the can down the line so that you don't give me a second grandchild.
That's not what's going on at all. All I'm asking is for me to have time to worry about that when I'm ready for it, okay?
It's not a matter of waiting until you feel like it. That could take forever. The second you even think that you might be ready for it, it's the time to dive in. I mean, you don't want a huge age gap between your kids, do you? How are they supposed to get along if they're at completely different stages of their youth? You really need to think more carefully about these things. And you really need to think about having a second child soon, since Laurel is just a girl.
Sorry, what is the problem you have with Laurel being a girl, Carrie?
You mean you really can't figure it out for yourself? What is my family supposed to do if the youngest heir is a girl? We need a boy to pass down my family name and take over all our affairs as everyone gets older. You really think I would trust any of that to a girl? Don't be absurd.
Okay, I guess I can understand where you're coming from with that. But you do realize that even if I do get pregnant with a second child, there is no way to guarantee whether it'll be a boy or a girl, right?
And that's why I'm telling you that you need to start getting pregnant now. You have to start early so that you can keep trying again and again until you finally give me a grandson.
I'm not going to keep having kids until I have a boy just to make you happy, Carrie.
Now you listen to me, young lady. A woman who can't give her husband or mother-in-law a boy is basically useless. Honestly, I'm surprised that you haven't been divorced for not wanting to get pregnant again. Back in my day, men were leaving their women all the time because they couldn't give them the sons they wanted. So I would appreciate it if you could swallow your pride and give your husband and his family what they want.
Well, maybe that was how things went back then, but the times have changed a lot. And if you must know, Daniel and I are very happy with our little Laurel.
You really must have some nerve talking to your own mother-in-law like that. Someone really ought to teach you some respect. Anyways, just hurry up and get pregnant already. That really should be the least that you can do for your family. Don't go patting yourself on the back just because you shut out some useless girl. I want a grandson, and I want one now, understand?
Hello, Carrie. I was just wondering where you are right now.
I'm grabbing a little coffee by the City Met station, if you must know. Then after this, I was going to the movies to see something with a friend of mine.
Right, but Laurel is crying a lot right now.
And what makes you think that that's my problem, huh?
Well, she's telling me that you were saying some horrible things to her and being mean. Did you say something to her while I was busy cleaning the house today?
Oh, I don't know. I was so busy getting ready to start my day, I don't remember every little word I said to her.
You mean that? You really have no idea if you might have said something to upset her.
Of course not. Laurel is just a big crybaby. She would cry even if I looked at her funny. And you're being a bad mother by encouraging this kind of behavior. You really need to set your daughter straight and tell her to grow up.
Carrie, I'm not sure what it was that you said to Laurel, but I'm asking you to please not do that again.
And just what makes you think that I even did anything, huh? Because your little girl said I did? Does Laurel have any proof or any kind of evidence that she's telling the truth? How can you just take a child's word over mine?
Because I really don't think that she's a crybaby who would burst into tears for no reason. And I think that you might have said something to her or been needlessly strict with her, and now she's acting like this. And even before this, I saw when you were playing with Laurel not that long ago. You took her toys from her and threw it across the yard.
Oh, please. It was not like that at all. I just happened to get it caught on my foot and it just went flying. I can't believe that you and your daughter are so willing to attack me like this. I didn't even do anything, and yet I'm being treated like I'm some sort of villain. It's outrageous.
Carrie, I know very much how you feel about only having a granddaughter, but the fact is that Laurel is your granddaughter, okay? Not only that, but she's only 4 years old. Can you please just be a little nice to her?
If you're looking for someone to blame, why don't you try starting with yourself, huh? You gave birth to a daughter, so all of this is your fault anyways. You've always been useless, and you always will be. I wish you would have given me a grandson and not a granddaughter.
So you're telling me that the only reason you're treating Laurel this way is because she's a girl? You really think that you would treat your grandson differently if you had one? I'm sorry, but if that's really the case, I think we might have to rethink living with you.
What did you just say? I can't believe that you would try and threaten me like that. What's the matter with you?
I'm not making a threat, Carrie, but I am saying that I'll have to talk with my husband about how you've been treating our daughter. If you're refusing to even listen to what I have to ask of you in terms of Laurel, then that's on you.
How dare you try and turn my own son against me? It's bad enough having to deal with you and Laurel. This is why I wish that you had a son. Men are so much easier to deal with than women. Can't you just hurry up and get pregnant so I can meet my grandson already?
So you really just hate women in general? Even though you're a woman?
And do you have some kind of problem with that? Just what is wrong with me wanting to have a grandson, huh?
I just mean that I think you would really hurt Laurel's feelings if she knew that the reason you didn't like her was something out of her control. So I'll ask you again to please be nicer to my daughter, or I'll have to talk to Daniel about this.
Mary, come now. When are you going to see that you're making a big mistake here? I mean, this is all your fault because you're the one who hasn't had a son yet. I understand that you're frustrated, but it's no reason to try and take it out on me.
That is not why I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated because you literally said that you don't like your grandchild because she's a girl. I don't see how you having that issue is a problem for anyone else but you. Not only that, but Daniel and I are more than happy with our daughter, okay?
You can tell that to yourself all you want, but I know the truth that you aren't really happy with her. Not only that, but as your mother-in-law, I know that you're being a bad wife right now. If you're not going to give our family a son who can carry on our name, then you're not doing the one job that you have, and I don't see any reason for you to stay in our family.
I am very respectful of your family, Carrie. If it wasn't for all your family's ancestors before you, then I would have never met and married Daniel. But what you were asking for is different. You're asking for a boy to carry down your family name when our daughter can just keep her family name if she wants.
I see that you really just don't get how this works, do you? Maybe I'm just wasting my time trying to get through to you.
I think that on that we can agree. I don't want to be fighting with you either, and especially not about something like this. So I know that it might be a lot to ask, but can you please just take mine and Laurel's feelings a bit more into consideration?
I can do that, but it doesn't seem fair if you don't do the same for me. You're basically asking for me to just fold over and do whatever you say while you don't even care what I have to say in return. And now I'm starting to get mad again. And all because you're trying to make me the bad guy for wanting a grandson.
I don't see why this is worth getting so upset about. If and when Daniel and I want a second kid, we will have one. If it's a son, then great, we'll be happy. If it's a daughter, we'll also be just as happy. I think it's unfair for you to try and impose your wants on our relationship, though.
I am through with you. It's obvious that there's no point in continuing this conversation if you're just going to be so stubborn. But know that I am not going to let you get away with disobeying me so easily. You won't get away with this, Mary.
Hey there, Carrie. I was just wondering where you are right now.
I'm at a friend's house, if you must know. I know that you're sick, which means that I knew I wouldn't be able to count on you for lunch. So I messaged a friend and asked if I could come over to their house and eat with them.
I see. But do you know where Laurel is? I can't seem to find her anywhere. I was just wondering if you didn't take her to your friend's house while I was in bed sick.
No, I didn't take her with me. What would even make you think that? In fact, now that you mention it, I think she just ran off all by herself. I guess she finally understood that nobody wanted her anymore and she left all on her own.
What do you mean she left? Like she ran away from home or something?
That's right, she just ran off. Hopefully never to come back.
Carrie, what is the matter with you? This is a 4-year-old girl that we're talking about here. What if something happens to her?
Don't tell me that you're really going to try and blame me for this too, are you? It's not my fault that your daughter chose to run off by herself. And you were the one in bed and not watching her.
Can you please just tell me which way she went? Did she say if she was going anywhere?
Just what makes you think that I would know any of that, Mary?
Carrie, you tell me where my daughter is right this second. I am serious.
If you were really worried, you wouldn't be wasting your time messaging me. Why don't you go to the police and report your missing daughter? I'm sure it would be faster and more productive than this. Although I don't really care whether or not you find her anyway. Mary, just what do you think you're doing, huh? Are you really going to try and move out of here? Why is Daniel packing up his stuff right now? Tell him to stop right now. You can't do this to me.
What are you talking about, Carrie? Of course we can and we will. You put Laurel in serious danger. We refuse to live under the same roof as you anymore.
But I told you that Laurel was the one that ran off all by herself. I didn't even do anything. Why are you always blaming me for all of your problems?
I heard it all from Laurel herself, Carrie. She told me that you told her that nobody loved her or wanted her, and that she should just leave. How could you say that to a child? I seriously can't believe that you would do something like that. It's just so horrible.
She told you I said that? Well, does she have any proof that I did?
She doesn't need any kind of proof, because both of her parents believe her.
You mean that you're really going to take the word of a 4-year-old over your own mother-in-law? Have you both lost your minds?
Even if Laurel was lying about this, there is plenty of past incidents with you to back up what she's saying. And besides, you're still responsible for not even trying to stop her from running away.
I am telling you that this isn't my fault. You can't just blame me like this. You're really going to pin this on me because your daughter snuck away? What about you? You really think that having a fever and staying in bed isn't just an excuse either?
I accept responsibility for not keeping a better eye on her while I was sick. But I also know that Laurel isn't tall enough to unlock all the locks on the door to our house. Especially the chain at the very top, which had no reason to be undone. So all that means is that someone must have undone it for her before she left.
And you're saying that's me? You can't just accuse people of something that you have no proof for. Besides, maybe I was already gone by the time she ran away. It isn't like you even asked me to look after her for you anyways. I don't see how this is anyone's fault but yours and Laurel's. So quit trying to put the blame on me because I'm sick of it.
Oh, trust me, the feeling is mutual.
And what is that supposed to mean?
It means that I am sick of you and I never want you near my family again. Even Daniel says that he doesn't want to see you anymore. So consider this our way of cutting you out of our lives forever.
Fine, be that way. See if I care. I don't need you or Laurel in my life.
You realize this includes Daniel, don't you? That's why he's packing up his things too?
But he told me that he's just going to be living somewhere else. Although now that I think about it, he's ignored me ever since he told me that and went upstairs to start packing.
He texted me and said that he just doesn't have the strength to respond to you after what you did. That's why he's not talking to you right now.
Tell me, Mary, is this fun for you? Tearing apart families like this when you don't even have any proof of what you're talking about?
If you really think that's what's going on here, then there's no point in having this conversation. I wish that you would just come forward and be mature about this.
You realize that if you move out of my house that you'll have to start paying rent for where you live, right? I know that you already give me a little money each month, but rent is going to be much more expensive.
We've talked about that and we've agreed that it'll still be worth it. Besides, you were the one who asked us to move in with you in the first place. You said that the house was too big for one person and that you were lonely.
I guess I did say that, didn't I?
That's right. And you said that it would be perfect because you could just take care of me while I was pregnant. But obviously all of that changed once I had Laurel. After that, I don't think you ever had a kind word to say to my daughter or I. In fact, you have no idea just how patient I've been with you throughout all of this.
But I told you that if you moved in, that I would want you to give me a grandson, remember? I wasn't being mean, you just didn't hold up your end of the deal.
You have literally had children before. Do you think that you can just decide what your baby comes out as? And do you really think that's an excuse to treat Laurel how you did? You made her cry, and then you chased your only grandchild out of the house because you told her that nobody loved her. If you think that there is any way to come back from that, you are just delusional.
Please, can't we just calm down and talk about this? I mean, she was safe in the end, right?
Don't you dare tell me to calm down after what you did to my daughter. What if she was in an accident, or got kidnapped, or got hurt somehow? Except for the fact that she did get hurt by you.
Okay, geez, I can apologize to her if that'll settle this whole thing between us. Then we can just put this all behind us, right? Is that what you want?
You really think that this is all just going to go away? I don't want you anywhere near my daughter ever again.
But she's my granddaughter. You can't just keep her away from me like that.
Actually, I can and I will. You should stop thinking of yourself as her grandmother because as far as Daniel and I are concerned, you're nothing to any of us.
But I said that I'll apologize. Shouldn't that be enough? What can I do to make you forgive me?
Nothing. I am never going to forgive you, and that's why we're moving out. The only regret I have is that we didn't do this sooner.
But how are you going to find a place to live on such short notice? You can't just move out in a day. Nobody can do that. Please, you don't have to do this.
Thankfully, you don't have to worry about that. That's for Daniel and I to figure out. I don't see any reason why I need to explain anything more to you.
I'm so sorry. I didn't want things to go this way.
It's way too late to try and apologize for what you've done now.
Surely there must be something I can do to set this right, though, right?
No, you've already done enough, thank you very much. If you really want to do good by us and by Laurel, you can leave us alone and never talk to us again. After that, the moving company that we hired arrived and helped us quickly pack and take all of our belongings. It did cost us quite a bit of money, but it was all worth it to get out of living with Carrie. Meanwhile, Carrie tried crying and begging to her son to stay. Daniel had kept quiet that whole time, but his mom's crocodile tears set him off and he really started laying into her. He went off about how he could never forgive Carrie for putting his daughter in harm's way. I heard from some old connections in the neighborhood that ever since we left, Carrie has been a depressed mess and hardly ever leaves the house. But after what she put me and my daughter through, it's difficult for me to have any pity for her. Instead, I'm going to focus on Laurel and make sure that she knows that she is loved and will always be enough.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.